What kind is it?
Same as last time.
And no note.
I can't take it anymore.
I'm so sorry, Henrik.
She's one of the best investigators I have.
But
I'm concerned.
It's inevitable that David Fincher's take on the Swedish-noir bestseller by Stieg Larsson will be compared to the original movie adaptation done by Niels Arden Oplev. The results are mixed. In some ways, it's superior to the Swedish version in terms of pacing and has a more authentic feel. But for some reason, there's a coda at the end of the movie that feels tacked on and formulaic. Almost as if Fincher, who's known for dark and gritty films such as Seven and Zodiac, succumbed to Hollywood rules in order to make the story more digestible. Once again, the story involves how disgraced reporter Michael Blomqvist is given a case by the aging patriarch Henrik Wenger, who wants to find out what happened to his niece Harriet almost 40 years back. Essentially a locked room mystery on an island, Daniel Craig's Blomqvist enlists the help of Lisbeth Salander, who is played by an unrecognizable Rooney Mara from The Social Network, who is tough as nails and street smarts wouldn't look out of place in a golf concert. The two manage to unearth the truth behind the disappearance, which might link to a series of serial killings.
my family. This is Harriet. Someone in the family.
Fincher doesn't dumb down the movie. Computer geeks will be pleased to see that Lisbeth knows how to hack and put together a database query at lightning speed, and it only takes a minute for him to establish how Lisbeth has a photographic memory. Once the case is solved, however, it's like some spirit or studio head intervene and suddenly Lisbeth turns into a super spy, dressing up like a platinum blonde in order to get back at Blomqvist's enemy, a Swedish millionaire who had trapped him and sued him for all his worth.
You do something for me, I do.
It's all capped by a scene that just fails to capture what Lisbeth has been. Tough, unemotional, and who would be very wary of any long-term human relationship, Fincher makes her into an almost Julia Roberts wannabe. And that's hard to swallow for a movie that's mostly swept one along. It's like having a great meal and then having a dessert consisting of an overly sweetened cupcake.
I want you to help me catch a killer of women. I've got absolutely no idea.
There are also a couple of changes that don't sit well. The location of a key person has been changed, which makes the investigation less sturdy. Also, since everyone speaks in an English accent, when investigators head to London, the difference is hardly felt. Some problems are also a result of the original source material. A hint of a biblical connection is never quite clear, and the confrontation between investigators and the murderer feels perfunctory. There's also some big plot holes and assumptions around the whole case that just don't make sense if you stop to think about it.
And for the past 40 years, has been trying to drive me insane.
Rooney Mara does a fine job as Lisbeth, considering that Noomi Rapace's role in the Swedish trilogy wasn't an easy one to follow. In one of the film's key scenes, when Mara's Lisbeth takes down her abusive guardian, she's hard-edged and nasty, but with a more vulnerable side. Daniel Craig, on the other hand, is deliberately overshadowed, but does manage to carry out the more comedic moments of the film that manage to break up the intense story. In certain respects, this is a good but not great adaptation of the book. It would have been almost perfect if Fincher had ended it after the investigation, instead of putting the film into Mission Impossible territory and making Lisbeth Salander, who is surely one of the most intriguing and toughest women to hit the screen, turn into a hybrid of TV's Sydney Bristow and Julia Roberts. However, it's still saved by Fincher's fluid, breathless directing and great performances by the two main leads. The Girl with Dragon Tattoo gets 3 stars out of 5. So stay tuned for the best of movies in Singapore at inSing.com. This is your movie buddy Zaki signing off.